A wonderful day to you viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Complete Sports Updates. My name is Abib Kuranga. This is the show where we bring to you the latest and trending stories in the world of sports. And Manchester United suffer miserable defeat to Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. The Red Devils were handed a major blow in their quest to play European football next season. Right here we'll be discussing the problems at the Old Trafford club. Should the United hierarchy relieve Erik ten Hag of its managerial duties? This, alongside other interesting topics, shall be discussed right here. Do sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is the Complete Sports Updates. Joining me on today's episode is Adeboye Amosu, and together we shall be taking you through the rounds as far as proceedings in this episode is concerned. Welcome back to the show, Boye.
Good to be back on the show.
Yes, without any further delay, without any further ado, last week, Finidi George was actually appointed by the Nigeria Football Federation as the Super Eagles manager. And different talks have been in place as regards to who should be, should make up the backroom staff for this manager right there at the Super Eagles. So, different people have been saying, they want foreign managers to be able to help these guys to galvanize the squad together. So, do you feel the Finidi George should actually look to add up foreign managers as against local managers as his assistants?
Well, I think it is important for any head coach of a team to look for his assistant, be it a foreign, an expatriate, or an indigenous coach. Before the new coach was announced by the Nigeria Football Federation, the feelers that we got from Abuja was that anybody that emerged as a Super Eagles coach will be given the opportunity to appoint his assistant. And immediately after his appointment, a rumor I have it that the NFF were trying to impose two of his former teammates in the person of Emmanuel Amuneke and Daniel Amokachi as his assistant, which he firmly rejected. To me, I think it was a good move by Finidi to reject the two guys, because how will you work with two people who really applied for the job in the first place? So they have eye for the job in the first place. So no matter what, it's not going to be a cordial relationship between any of them that emerge as his assistant. The big question now is, if Finidi is looking for a foreign assistant, who is going to pay the assistant? Is it going to be from his own salary? We all know the way we treat our local coaches here. Jose Peseiro was on a 50, initially when he was employed, he was on a $70,000 salary per month. Before it was reduced to 50,000 naira. He was paying his assistant from the salary he was getting from the NFF. Can Finidi George afford to pay a foreign assistant from his own salary? I think that is a big question that is begging to be answered. So if he's looking for a foreign assistant, fine. He has a prerogative. He has a right to appoint anybody who he feels can at least make his job easier.
Okay, so definitely it will have to boil down to who will be paying his assistant. Is this going to be Finidi himself or the NFF? So if it's going to be Finidi himself, it's going to be more like he would want to prioritize local ahead of foreigners, because of how much these guys will definitely want to be receiving at the end of the month. I really understand what you are trying to say right there, but we really hope that whatever decision that Finidi wants to make, it would be the one that is that is going to be beneficial for the team as a whole. Over to Europe, Erik ten Hag recorded a new low as a Manchester United manager on Monday when the team were actually trashed 4-0 by Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park, and they have now been down to 8th position. Points adrift of European competitions, and there have been so many talks about Manchester United's problem. so many people have the angle of the owners having a portion of the blame. Some also say the manager. Some are even saying the players as a whole, they also have their own portion of the blame. So who can you blame as the major problem of Manchester United?
Well, it's been a really difficult season for United and their fans. Personally, I think if you look at United and Chelsea, they've been through a lot of troubles this season, especially on the injury side. You have a lot of first-team players injured at different points of the season. For Manchester United, they were expected to make it out of their group in the UEFA Champions League. They finished fourth in the group. They couldn't even pick a slot in the Europa League. You understand? Now they were in a good position in the league, at least to get a spot in the Europa League. But with the likes of Newcastle United, Chelsea coming up at this stage of the season, it's been a difficult time for them. I think the only succor for them is probably they can win the FA Cup. That will certainly guarantee a spot in the Europa League. Talking about their problems, well, I think in football you experience difficult season like this. Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool had their own fair share last season.
Yes,
but they were only able to pick a spot in the Europa League.
Yeah.
So I think for United, it's a big club, and I'm tipping them to bounce back next season if they can at least get some new players in and keep their top players fit.
So you are not really apportioning blame to any parts as far as the United structure is concerned.
I don't think it's well. If you look at the coach, when you don't have some of your key players at your disposal, there is little you can do as a coach. Just like Mauricio Pochettino at Chelsea, when they played, I think at West Ham the last time, they had like 14 players injured. So it was against Tottenham Hotspur. So they virtually had no senior players on the bench. So 14 senior players, 14 first-team players on the bench. So there's little a coach can do on the pitch.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you a particular question, but you've already answered, indirectly. You are not really, I was actually expecting you to say something like maybe Eric Ten Hag also has a little bit of, himself also adding to the problems of Manchester United. I actually wanted to ask you if he should be sacked, before the next season, begins. But with the explanation you've given, I don't think there's any need for me to do that yet. So thank you very much, Boye, for the wonderful and insightful analysis.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure to be back on the show again this week.
So viewers, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain as far as today's episode is concerned. Do take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.